Bonjour! Bonjour!
No. Time for bladder check.
Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 22. No, 22! I already watched today's episode 21. If you want to see my reaction video about it, I'm gonna put the link into the eye. I'm gonna put the link also for the playlist that I made for My Hero Academia that I'm binge watching. I watched all of the season 1 with you guys, and now almost all of the season 2. That's it, I'm close to the end of this season 2. I think that I'm gonna keep the last episodes of the season for the same session of binge watching. It could be great, so that's it. Let's go first for this episode 22, the last one that I'm gonna watch today. During the last episode I discovered that that's it. This episode would be about the final exams, and I didn't think that it would take that long, you know, like I didn't know in fact what it could be for this final exam, and the fact that they presented us how it would be. Okay, they had the written part, but they have now also the technical part, the practical part, and the fact that each time it's gonna be a fight, two students against one teacher. It's really interesting. It's really a good way, I think, to measure how great they are and also how much they evolved since the beginning, since they entered into that school. But I think also that for the anime itself, it's gonna take time. If they want to show us really each combat, I think that it's gonna take time. So that's why I think that during this episode 22, I'm gonna have almost all of the combats except for the one for Bakugo and Deku against All Might. It's the last one, you know, so for sure they're gonna keep it for an episode, you know, itself, because we know all of what it implies, you know, like to have these two fighting together, that's already big, that's already something that I can't imagine for now, to have Bakugo accepting to fight, to make plans, to be forced, you know, to work with Deku. That's gonna be amazing. And the fact that they're gonna do that against All Might, who is the best hero, but who is also right now really weaker than usually, and who is gonna be forced to fight against Deku, who has the same quirk than him. Like, all of what this combat implies, for me, it's gonna take one episode at least, and that's why I don't think that I'm gonna have it right there, and that the episode that I'm gonna have right now, it's gonna be about all of the other combats, meaning, for example, Todoroki with Momo. And I said it, I'm really interested also by that fight, because Momo, she's really great. She's the first of her class, but during the sports festival she had some issues because she was thinking too much and she was not acting quick enough, fast enough, and during a combat you have also to act with your instinct, and maybe that's something that Todoroki can teach her, because in fact, now that I think about it and now that they talked a little about it, yes, during all of his fights, during the sports festival but also the other ones, Todoroki, he showed that he has a natural instinct, you know, during the fights, which is really great because he knows how to use his quirk and how to use it against his enemy. Like, yes, it's an instinct thing, you know, that he has, which is really great. So I really think that this combat can be good. Ochaco with the fake French guy, I'm tired of it in advance. I said it, the guy is annoying, like he's bragging too much, he's in love with himself, and that's really annoying, and I'm desperate in advance for Ochaco is gonna be forced to work with him. Iida, that's gonna be cool. Tsu also, that's gonna be cool. Like, we can have plenty of cool combats during this episode, I think. And I cannot wait also to see that if really some of them can fight, can win against their teachers, because in fact what we saw during the last episode, it was Kirishima and the other guy fighting against Semanto and failing, and I'm afraid for them first, because does it mean that they failed their entire exam, like they're not gonna have their year, and for sure they're not gonna go to camping, but also maybe they're gonna come back to first year? Like, I'm a little afraid for them, and I'm wondering also if really this is something that some of these students they can do, because right there, there's teachers, they're great heroes, so I don't know. Something which is great is also the fact that we're going to discover all of the abilities, all of the quirks of all of the teachers, when for now we know some of them, but not really during fights, and yes, to see all of them fighting, it's going to be cool. Oh, during the previous review, you know, I didn't talk about that opening scene about the girls, you know, discussing about how sexy they look into their outfits, and the fact that their outfits, they are not made to be sexy but to be okay, you know, with their quirks, but that in fact for Midnight it's not really the case, and that Mount Lady, she's also using that a little, you know, for her appearance to make it on purpose, you know, to be sexy. And I didn't like at all the subject of that discussion, and you know what I think about that? No, heroes, they don't need to be sexy, but I can understand that into a world like that, a universe like that, when you have a lot of heroes and they have to be popular, and you know, also to have a lot of money, to be admired, they have to play with that, also with the fact that they can look sexy and all. So for sure for ladies it's a real deal because of that. So I can understand all of the subject around that for women heroes into this universe, but it bothered me a little, you know, that they talked about it and all. And like that, maybe if they would have talked about it like I just did, maybe it wouldn't have bothered me, but the fact that they talked about it like that, I did not appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right there. Let's go for this episode 22. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon on which you can have this episode earlier, remember that on my Patreon they have 4 episodes of advance. It's a lot. It means that they already have the end of this season, or just the episode before the final episode of the season, something like that. So if you want all of that already, you can go on my Patreon. And you have also these videos with an extended reaction part or a full reaction part. I put 4 reaction parts for big episodes, you know, in which I can't cut. For example, all of the episodes about Iida fighting Stain. And no matter what, I put the extended reaction part, which is better than the version that I'm posting on YouTube, because I'm not forced to cut that much to play with opacity. I'm really giving you all of the scenes, all of the reactions that I wanted to share with you guys at first, and then taking that version, I'm cutting into it a lot so it can pass on YouTube. So if you want to have all of these advantages, to really see the videos that I wanted to share with you guys, and if you want to support me also, I'm a little reactor, it's on my Patreon. Let's go for this episode! Ah! Tokoyami! Yes, to help the two of you. That we know it. 13! Okay. Oh, I never paid attention to that. When he's using Dark Shadow, he can't use his ants. You know his ants? Yes, she has no clear weaknesses. She's that great. I love Tsu. She reacted. You can make a bigger one. It's not just clowns which are like you, but... All by himself, he can? What? You're gonna feel sick? Oh no, it's acid stuff that she can do, no? Good job! It was that. Good job. Huh? He's saying the same. Yes! You're gonna be amazing. Don't underestimate. Come on, Iida. I love the fact that you trust him just like that and you're doing it. Good job! Good job, good job, good job! Yes, you let him escape. Come on, Momo, I'm sure that you can do great. Trust yourself and your instinct. You're giving her orders. Don't you want to talk about it with her, you know, like... Yes, I was gonna say. That's a quality that she doesn't have. Momo. What did I say? Talk with the girl, make a plan with her, ask her opinion. You saw that she lost confidence. Yeah! You're clever, Momo, you can do it. You know it, but you can't take that in consideration. You have to test them to attack them. To your instinct. Maybe it's a better one! Yes! Trust you. Uh-oh! It's not just Matryoshkas, you know? She put something inside her ear. Because you know his weakness. Go for it! Yes, in which you can use them enough to respond to square. So bon! Oh, he's waiting for them to do something. She had a plan in mind, she's telling her plan and she's asking him the question. Good job, girl! You're proud of her. Inside of you, you're proud of her. Yes! Yes, 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 yes! It's clever, it's impressive, it's an attack, it's brave. Yes, we saw that for a little second. He doesn't want for you to think that he made you win, you know. I think that is sincere right there. Good job, Momo. No, she's proud of herself. She's emotional. So cool. Alright. Oh, maybe I'm gonna have a post-credit scene. Ochaco. He's made for that? Ah, tell me about it. Come on, Ochaco. The fact that she always thinks of Deku, and he does it. How dare you finish with that? How dare you? You know, I was just glad because of the fact that once again she said what Deku would do in that case. Like, she's really taking him as an example of a great hero, at least someone like her. So really, if he can do that, he's a student like her, but he's that great, she's really putting him right there. What he would do in her place. So I was really focused on that. Oh, she's saying it again. So for sure we know that she likes, she blushed at some occasions, talking with him and all. But for the fake French guy, yes, I don't know his name, I don't want to learn his name. For me, I think that he's gonna stay the fake French guy. For him to know that she would sing that and to know that she likes him, I appreciate that. Maybe that's something that I can appreciate with him. The fact that he noticed it and he said it, maybe it's gonna, you know, it's gonna disturb a little Ochaco, who is gonna be like, oh, do I have feelings for Deku? And maybe it can become something. So, but that was great. But it means that we're gonna see this fight for the next episode. How many fights do we have left? Like right there during this episode, we had Iida, we had Tsu and Tokoyami, we had Todoroki and Momo. During the first one, we had Kirishima and On. We know that we have 10 fights. Like we're missing the one about Ochaco, which is gonna be really cool to follow because it's Ochaco. But the other 4 combats, you know, I'm not sure that we're gonna see them really in details and stuff like that. And again, for me, the combat between Bakugo and Deku, it's gonna take at least an entire episode. Because really these two, for these two to decide to fight together, to talk about it before or during, what can happen with All Might quirk, him who is beginning to be weaker, the quirks, you know, which are the same, all of that, like, for me it's gonna take at least 1 episode. So maybe next episode it can be Ochaco's fight and the 3 other fights to keep the last one, the final one, Bakugo and Deku against All Might for the end for another single episode. That's how I'm seeing it for now. Okay, about the fights that we had during this episode. Tsu and Tokoyami, that was so great. You know how much I love Tsu. I'm really a fan of the girl since the beginning, since we met her, because she was really clever since the beginning. Like the fact that she noticed so easily that Deku's quirk was like All Might's quirk, and after that the fact that during that combat, you know, at the end of the season 1 against these villains, she acted also so bravely, you know, and you know, in fact, just also in an instinct way, like she was attacked, she reacted like that. She motivated also a little Deku during that moment, and she took a lot of things for herself during that moment, but without bragging, without saying that she was that great. Like really the girl, I really loved the girl during that moment, and since then she's one of my favorites. So right there for her to fight with Tokoyami, that was also great. And the fact that they worked so well together, they planned so many things, it was cool. At the end they didn't win, you know, as they planned, but no matter what, they managed to do it by putting the bracelets. When for Iida, they managed to win, you know, these two, but not with the bracelet, by making one of them escape. And something which was great, it was the fact that it's Iida who thought about saving the other one, letting him escape. So okay, these two, they can win at the same time, but you know, in a way Iida was sacrificing himself. And after what happened with Stain, that was, you know, a good thing. Like this time I'm thinking about protecting the person with me, I'm not just thinking about myself. This time I prefer to run away than to attack and fight. You know, that was a good thing for Iida to resolve the situation like that. Todoroki and Momo, I said it already in intro, I was really interested to see these two together, not only because they are top of their class, but also because what Aizawa said during the previous episode already interests me. The fact that during the sports festival, Momo, she felt because she was thinking too much and she couldn't act really quick, when on the contrary, Todoroki is really great, you know, at attacking and also defending himself by instinct. So I thought that it could be cool to see these two together, but in fact it was even better than that, because right there it was also about Momo, who totally, you know, followed Todoroki's plan without seeing anything, even if she had another plan in mind which could work, and she just decided to follow him because, okay, she saw that he was better, you know, during the combat, but also because she lost confidence on herself, and that, I didn't know it, Aizawa noticed it, and that's why he put these two together, and right there he tested them like that. But yes, to see Momo like that, acting like that and all. That was a good reminder of the fact that she's just 15 and she's acting like a 15 years old teenager who lost confidence on herself, who is acting emotional, who is following what someone told her and all. But at the same time, she's clever, and just right there, the fact that Todoroki told her that he voted for her, you know, she was like, okay, he trusts me, and he just told me to do as I want, and even before this moment, he already trusted me to do the right thing, and yes, I'm a clever woman, I can do things right and all. That was a cool moment, you know. And also for Todoroki to understand the mistake that he committed earlier, to have a plan on mind, that's okay, but to not ask the question to Momo, like, is it okay for you, is it working for you, that was bad. And right there after that, you know, Momo, she said all of her plan. At the end, she asked to Todoroki, are you okay with that plan? And he said yes. That's the difference, you know, between how it happened for Todoroki's plan and for Momo's plan. And Momo's plan was really great. About Aizawa, like, did he let her win or not? Because yes, she committed a mistake during that moment, and maybe he could have taken that opportunity, and maybe he could have taken that opportunity to attack her. There is a possibility, you know, that he let her do it because he wanted for her to regain confidence in herself, and that's what recovery girl she's implying. But at the same time, the explanation that he gave, you know, Aizawa, for me it's working also. Like, he knew that Todoroki was around and was surely planning something, so he wanted to not be occupied with Momo during that moment and to stay open to maybe another attack coming from Todoroki to be frozen or something like that. So for me, both of these explanations are working, so I'm choosing to believe that it's a mix of these two solutions. And no matter what, I'm proud of Momo, and I'm glad for Momo if she regained confidence on herself during that moment. That's cool. It's well deserved, you know, she's great, so it's well deserved. Okay, so that was a cool episode. It felt really like a short one because we had plenty combats and, you know, in a short way, so everything is feeling short, which is logical also. The teachers, you know, fighting like that, Cemento, we already fought him, you know, so is quick, so that was not a surprise. Same for 13. That was more a surprise for me. Ectoplasm, his ability to be able to make 30 clones just like that, that was a lot. And after that, the other guy, the other teacher, I can't remember his name, you know, the beard guy, I don't know. I'm not sure if he's queer. Why not? It can be really useful, but it's not one, you know, which is really interesting to see, to have also. Each time, like everyone, I'm thinking about, what quirk would I like to take? I already answered to that question. After watching Avatar The Last Airbender and just understanding that airbending is the right bending for me for so many reasons, logical ones, you know, because I love air, because I already... j'ai déjà fait du parachute et du parapente, like, obvious reasons like that, but also deep reasons about, you know, my principles, my values in life, my ways of living and stuff like that. For me, it's airbending. Since, you know, I realized that each time that now I think about what power would I like to have, each time I'm thinking about something related to air, to wind, maybe to control weather or something like that, like something that I would love to have in real life. For those of you who are following me since a long time, you know how much. So yes, for sure this one, it's not really an interesting one, you know, the guy, the building teacher, right now it's not really what I'm interested by. Tell me what would be your power, your quirk, if you have one which is working well for you, you know, tell me that. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video right now, so it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now, bye!
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.